The tribesmen transited through Pakistan carrying modern military gear. The first standoff was at Muzaffarabad, where they faced a battalion of Dogra troops, capturing the bridge between Muzaffarabad and Domel, which itself fell to the attackers the same day. Over the next 2 days, they took Gari and Chineri. The main group of attackers then proceeded towards Uri. Although the local forces tried to fight against the rebel army, they were overwhelmed by the sheer numbers. The tribal invaders planned to capture Srinagar. However, for the tribesmen, the primary purpose was plunder and not jihad. With very little protection, Baramullah's prosperous town with a sizable Hindu population bore the brunt of the raiders' greed, lust, and religious bigotry. Women, children, and even a British officer and nuns were not spared as the tribals halted their advance, ransacking the town over the next 2 days for booty and pleasure as the white of the winter frost turned red with the blood of the hapless citizens of Baramulla. It is evident that whatever military training was thrown out of the window as tribal instincts took over, and the raiders stayed at Baramulla for longer than they planned. This singular lack of sense and operational focus saved Srinagar from falling to the invaders. Pakistan had perpetuated the myth that the tribal raiders were liberators and came to Kashmir to fulfill their religious obligation of jihad, because Muslims were being killed in Jammu in communal riots. But nothing can be further from the truth that the tribal raiders came to protect their Muslim brethren. The raiders actually trampled Jammu and Kashmir's sovereignty, dishonored Kashmiri women, and looted Hindus and Muslims alike. Eyewitness accounts like that of Khwaja Abdul Samad reveal their attack had totally devastated Muzaffarabad. The homes of Hindus and Muslims were looted, shops were plundered, places of worships were not spared. They tore down mandirs and desecrated masjids. As the positions of the state forces were overrun, their withdrawal towards Uri and Baramulla was slow, for they had to escort thousands of Hindu refugees towards Srinagar. Thousands more were massacred at Uri as Brigadier Rajinder Singh, the officiating chief of staff, rallied his troops for a spirited response around town on the same evening. Outnumbered and overwhelmed, the state forces blew up the only bridge on the river Jhelum that connected the Mochrible road the next day and withdrew to defensive positions east of Uri as they continued to hold up the invaders from making a run for Baramulla and Srinagar. The planners and perpetrators of the tribal invasion are the foremost enemies of the Kashmiri people. Unfortunately, all the crimes committed by them have been camouflaged under the name of jihad and independence by successive Pakistan governments and their cronies in Jammu and Kashmir. Tragically, Indians, and especially those who bore the brunt of the tribal invasion, have chosen to forget the events of October 22nd, 1947. It serves as a bad memory, but it is important to recount these horrifying stories to ensure history doesn't repeat itself.